Good evening, everyone. It is, I don't know if you can hear the hip hop, but it's Wednesday, September 18th, and we're here for a Jesus Short. I hope you enjoy it. The sprinkling of blood on the Holy of Holies, Leviticus chapter 4, verse 6 and verse 17, Leviticus 14:51, and twice in Leviticus 19. They sprinkled the blood over the children of Israel. The Kohen, which is the priesthood, is to dip his, they're talking about the high priest here, to dip his finger in the blood of sheep and goats. Sprinkle it 7 times before Adonai on the veil, the one that split when Jesus was crucified. Before the curtain of the sanctuary, the Kohen, the high priest, should put some blood on the horns of the altar. Now, on the altar, there's 4 horns. There's one on each corner, and they represent the 4 winds of earth that God sent down. And that's why when God says, "I withheld the winds," that's the symbol of it on the Ark of the Covenant. On the horns of the altar of sweet incense before God, Adonai. The sweet incense was to give a sweet aroma for the dead animals and the blood that they were burning, which is in the tent of meeting, and he is to pour out all the rest of the blood of the bull at the base of the altar of the burnt offering. Matthew 27. Then he released to them Barabbas. If you've heard me teach on Yom Kippur, Barabbas. Our Bible will say Barabbas. That's incorrect. Barabbas, Bar means son of, Abba means father. So his title was Barabbas, son of the Father, just like Jesus was on the other side of Pilate, son of the Father. And his name was Yehoshua, just like Jesus' name was Yehoshua. They were supposed to be 2 identical goats, which they were. He handed him over to be crucified. And after braiding a crown of thorns, they placed it on his head. And we've talked about this before. On the altar, on the cross, Jesus conquered every curse that he placed on man and woman and Lucifer in Genesis chapter 3. Because the curse he put on Adam was he would have to deal with thorns and thistles, and he wouldn't be able to grow the food. The ground would not yield its fruit to him. Well, Jesus removed it. That's what the crowns of thorns and thistles was on his head. Then they led him to a place and put nails in his wrists and a nail in each heel to the side of the cross. Now, when they came to Yehoshua and saw that he was already dead, one of the soldiers pierced his side with a spear, and immediately blood and water poured out. Now, why did I put this up there? Because we just talked about in Leviticus, 7 times they were sprinkling blood on the Ark of the Covenant, 7 times on the altar, 7 times on the veil. Jesus shed his blood 7 times that morning. So when we read Leviticus, it's not just a book of rules. It's a book of the coming of the Messiah and what he would fulfill. So Jesus, his feet were nailed through the heels into the side of the cross. That's 2. He was whipped 39 times. It's 3. Crown of thorns was 4. 1 in each wrist, that's 6. And then the spear in the side was 7. 7 times he shed his blood that morning, just like the high priest did for hundreds and hundreds of years. Same thing. Streetlight GR, please share this with people. I'd love to have people tell me in heaven that they saw this and it changed their life. Maybe even if it's just one. StreetlightGR.com, Facebook, YouTube at Streetlight Bible Study 4006. Be blessed and always be a blessing to others. Wouldn't it be cool to have when people come up to you and say, "Hey, you changed my life and you're the reason I'm here"? I just can't imagine what that's going to feel like. The reverse could be true too. We could be standing at the white throne judgment, and my neighbor says, "Yeah, well, I'm being sent to hell, but why didn't Mike tell me about you?" Jesus is going to look at me and say, "Yeah, Mike, why didn't you? I gave you all the info. Why didn't you tell him?" Matthew chapter 12, verse 36. We will give account for every idle word spoken. Idle meaning the word argos in Greek, meaning lazy, not doing the task we were given. Okay. Thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, please share this with others. I'd love to have that. So anyway, have a good night.